wonderful session.
Thank you so much, DG. Thank you so much for that wonderful remarks. Thank you so much. So, like the DG said, we can also reach out to our friends. This conversation is very important. So please, you can reach out to those that you know they need to be here. Thank you so much, sir, once again. I would like to hand over the floor to Mr. Shegun Ajayi, the Director General of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. You're welcome, sir, for your opening remarks, sir.
Thank you very much. And good morning, everyone. I would like to join my colleague, the DG of NECA, to welcome all of us to this very important webinar. I'd like to thank our distinguished speaker for the opportune engagement on an issue that is of immense importance to Nigerians in general and to businesses in particular. Like my colleague said, insecurity is a major issue and could actually be a defining factor in the success of businesses. There are quite a number of serious implications for our business when the operating environment is insecure. Operational risk that we face, it's actually a deterrence to investment. Our supply chains are badly and negatively impacted. There's also the reputational damage for people who want to do business with us. And of course, our costs increase phenomenally. For those who are engaged in productive activities, the scientific disruption will actually demarcate you. And there's increase, of course, like I said, in production cost. And there's actually possibility of people trying to take their businesses outside of Nigeria. And more importantly, there's the concern of our workers who feel or who may feel unsafe when they go to their places of work. All of this put together defines how important this engagement is. And like my colleague said, I want to urge one and all that even if you have scrolled through the attendance and you cannot see people who you have a responsibility to advise them to join, because I do not think that there is any other matter that is more concerning to Nigerians who are resident here, and even to our Nigerian brothers and sisters. They feel concerned for safety, they feel concerned for business, they feel concerned for livelihood. So I'd like to thank all of us, and we look forward to an engaging moment so that when we emerge from this webinar, we will have become more secure, at least mentally, and then we'll be informed about what we need to do thereafter. I thank you all, and I welcome us all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shegun, for that wonderful opening remarks. Thank you so much. Like he mentioned, security issue is very, very important. So once again, please reach out to everybody that needs to be on this call. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, DG. Moving on, we'd like to set the tone by inviting Professor Abiola Hallan, is the CEO of LEAP Foundation. Thank you so much. Please come and tell us what exactly we should be expecting. You have the floor, sir. You have the floor, Professor.
Thank you very much. My name is Professor Abiola Allen. I'm Professor of Forensic Criminology and Investigations and Harvard trained strategy specialist. The DG NECA, please permit me to stand on existing protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Hostile Environment Individual Security Training Program. Over the next 1.5 hours, we'll be focused on one clear objective: equipping you to operate in dangerous, unpredictable environments and still make it home safely. Many of you already work or will soon work in places where the rule of law is weak or contested. Armed groups and criminal networks operate freely. Information is unreliable and alliances shift overnight. A single careless moment can have life-changing consequences. We cannot remove all the dangers out there, but we can strengthen the one factor that you control completely: your own readiness. Why we're here this morning? In a hostile environment, you are your own first line of security. Support may be delayed, equipment may fail, plans may collapse on first contact with reality. What remains is what you carry in your head and in your habits, your mindset, your awareness, and your decisions under pressure. In this program, we'll work on one, mindset, staying calm, disciplined, and focused when everything around you is noisy and uncertain. Two, situational awareness, seeing trouble before it sees you. Three, movement and routines, how you travel, where you stay, and how you avoid becoming a predictable target. Four, threat recognition, early warning signs of surveillance, ambush, kidnapping, unrest, and criminal targeting. Five, crisis response, what to do when things go wrong: gunfire, checkpoint, abduction attempts, medical emergencies, or loss of contact. Six, recovery and resilience, how to debrief, learn, and come back stronger after critical incidents. These are not abstract topics. The methods you learn from real operations, real missions, and real incidents where the lessons were paid for at a very high price. We honor those experiences by learning from them and refusing to repeat avoidable mistakes. What I'll expect from you, participants, is to get the best out of this training. I'm asking three things from everyone: be fully present, limit distractions, listen actively, engage with the scenarios and the instructors. The one detail you ignore today might be the one you wish you had remembered tomorrow. Be honest and humble. Some of you are seasoned, others are just starting out. Experience is valuable, but overconfidence is dangerous. Ask questions, admit what you don't know, share your hard lessons. Take this personally. Don't treat this as just another mandatory course. As you go through each drill, case study, imagine your mission, your colleagues, and your family attached to it. That perspective changes how seriously you train. The tone of this program. You'll find that this training is realistic. We will discuss kidnapping, insider threats, targeted attacks, and high risk movement exactly as they happen in the real world. Demanding, you'll be challenged mentally and at times emotionally. That challenge here prepares you for pressure out there. The course is also professional and respectful. We're dealing with serious material and serious responsibilities. We will push you, but always with the goal of making you safer and more effective. Our distinguished guests, to set the strategic tone for this program, we're honored to be joined by two distinguished senior officers whose careers embody leadership in complex and hostile environments. First, it is my privilege to introduce General Christopher Musa, the former Chief of Defense Staff. General Musa has led at the highest levels of Nigeria's defense architecture, with responsibility for joint operations across multiple theaters. His career has placed him at the center of efforts to confront insurgency, terrorism, and other asymmetric threats. He understands more than most how the individual decisions of personnel on the ground can influence national level outcomes. Today, General Musa will speak to us, among other things, about the strategic reality of modern hostile environment, how the threat landscape is evolving, and why your personal security practices are essential to mission success and national security. Please join me in welcoming General Christopher Musa. We're deeply honored to also have with us General Adebayo, the former Chief of Defense Intelligence. As former Chief of Defense Intelligence, General Adebayo has operated at the intersection of information, operations, and security. His work has involved turning fragmented, often incomplete intelligence into decisions that protect lives and shape operations in difficult and hostile theaters. Later in this program, General Adebayo will share intelligence-driven lessons from the field. What patterns precede attacks? What indicators are often missed at the individual level? And how each of you can avoid becoming an easy target or a weak link in the security chain. Please also join me as we welcome General Adebayo. Closing this opening, as we begin, I want you to hold on to 3 points. One, by choosing this line of work, you have accepted proximity to risk. That decision demands serious preparation. Two, security is not somebody else's job. It is built or broken by your daily habits, what you notice, what you ignore, and how you move and how you respond. Our aim is simple but non negotiable. Every mission accomplished, every person returns. Using this program, I want you to challenge yourselves, ask hard questions. By the end, I want each of you to be able to say with confidence, if something goes wrong out there, I will not be the weakest link. I will be part of the solution. Thank you all for your attention. It is now my singular honor to hand over to General Christopher Musa to officially set the strategic context for this hostile environment individual security training program. General Musa, sir. Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
We can
please.
hear you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. You're welcome, sir. We can hear you.
So, General Musa, sir, I'm sure you have joined the, you have the floor, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Can we have General Musa, Christopher Musa, please, to have the floor? Hello?
I can hear you.
General Musa,
Okay,
sir,
sir.
please, you have the floor.
You have the floor, sir. Okay, I think you might probably have some network issues. So while we wait for General Mustafa to join us, I would like to tell our participants to please drop your expectations in the chat box. I'm sure you want to go on with one or two things today. So please just drop your expectation in the chat box so that you can go back and know that you're going back with something. So please let's drop our expectations in the chat box. I don't know, maybe General Mustafa has joined us now. Okay, I think his network is still coming up. Okay, so while we wait for General Mustafa, I want us to go into the second section while he comes up. I would love to come up to stage. Okay, I would love to come up to stage General Samuel Adebayo. Please, you're welcome to take your section now, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Can we all hear me?
Yes, we can. You're welcome, sir.
Okay. The Social and Labor Affairs Officer of NECA, the DG Chief Executive, the Director General of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, and all distinguished participants. I will say good morning. I am so talk about unpacking modern threats patterns, intelligence insight for corporate and personal protection. Well, before I go into the nitty-gritties of the small talk, because I consider it a small talk, it's a 50-minute talk, we need to know the simple tools, and that is the word intelligence. When we talk about intelligence, we're actually talking about processed information. Now, it looks massive when you talk about processed information, but sometimes it takes less than split a second before when that analysis and decision is done. Our daily lives are actually based on their quantity of intelligence. The success of our daily lives is quantity of intelligence that we're able to process in real time and act towards it. In our daily life, in everything we do, we carry out continuous evaluation of information, which we use to act. It doesn't also change when you get into the security environment. The essence of this talk is not to create fear, just like Dr. Allen and the first speaker had said. It is to sensitize us, to let us be aware of what we can do to be safe, what we can do to prevent unnecessary fear, and what we can do sometimes to overcome fear when it comes. There's no doubt that sometimes when things happen to us as it happens, we lose our composure. And most of this loss of composure is based on lack of knowing what to do and being able to appreciate the level of threat that is confronting us. So we need to really look at it and take it seriously. The DG man talked about individual, and he also emphasized on corporate and its implication on productivity, finances, and even the image of the organization. It is very important when you think security. Think security means that at every point in time, you are seeing collection, collation, analyzing, and disseminating intelligence that will help either you, the individual, your group, or the bigger society to achieve security. We have all been exposed to one form of discourse on security, and so nobody amongst us will assume that he has not known what we're talking about. So my task here is to remind us of what we need to do at different times. As it were, because of the time available, we are not likely to be able to cover everything. And I expect that when we get into the discussion proper or question and answer session, we'll be able to deal with these points as they come up. Intelligence security is to protect both individual and group against sabotage for the person, for the facility, espionage against the individual, and espionage against documents and all things or activities, and then subversion against individual person. Ordinarily, people hear intelligence and they get carried away with it. When you start thinking intelligence, when you start thinking security, what you see changes completely from what you would have seen if you were looking at it from an ordinary perspective. We all agree that the current threat environment in Nigeria is quite heavy in the sense that everybody seems to be on edge. Sometimes, if you understand security and you're able to appreciate your intelligence properly, you discover that it is not that bad if you can take actions to protect both yourself, your family, and whatever you are protecting. The factors are basically kidnapping, armed robbery, ambushes, destruction, bombings, and things like that. Those ones have not gone to a very high level. However, these threat factors are not are different. Their intensity are different from locations to location. The threats in the Southwest is quite significantly different from the Southeast, the Northwest, the Northeast, North Central, and even the South-South. They abound in every of these locations with different intensity. We cannot take them individually, so we're going to do use a general brush to go over them, and then at the end of the day, we hope that everybody will have taken something home. Now, let's talk about personal security and low-profile tradecraft. Now, if you are looking at that, we're also looking at where you are, what you are doing, what do you want to achieve. At home or in your factory, depending on where you are, you might need to be very, very conscious of your environment. What do you carry? How do you dress? How do you pack your things? Where do you pack your things? How do you move? What do you move with? Are you a routine person? Do you go out every day at 7 o'clock? Are you ostentatious in your display? Are you somebody who is easily seen or who talks a lot, who opens his mouth to tell everybody who cares to listen what you are and what you can do and who you know? Sometimes what we say, how we present ourselves also attracts security issues to us. If you own a factory, for example, that's deviating to corporate now, how do you protect? How do you check what are the security facilities in place? Do people have to carry ID card? How frequently do you change your ID card? What does the ID card contain? Who checks? Are they thorough? What about your perimeter? What do you have? How easily accessible are your facilities? What are the procedures, protection methods to protect anybody illegal access? If there's an issue, how do you manage men? How do you ensure that the implication, the effect of whatever happens is kept at the barest minimum? These are things that we need to know. I need to also observe to tell us that we may assume that we password our systems, but to tell you the truth, those things are just to delay. They do not actually provide total security. You can use double password, triple password. A determined intruder will get into those things. It's just a matter of time. And that is the time that security agencies or agents need to be able to prevent them from gaining full access. All the things we put in place in our devices, in our homes, is delay, not completely foolproof. So we need to also know that. And that is why when you have, appreciated all these things, you can now know what level of deterrence, what level of delay you can afford, and what level of preparation you can do to defeat that threat while it is attempting to overcome those delay facilities you have put in place. When you move, how do you move? Do you move on foot? Do you use Okada? Do you have a particular driver that comes to carry you? Information about your movement, who do you tell? Do you do it on the basis of need to know? Do you do it on the basis of just familiarity? We need to really look at those things. In your houses, your security lightings, your CCTV cameras, what do they do? Who observes them? How frequently do you observe them? What are their level of recordings? What quantity of time do they have to record? And then even if you see it, for example, some of us have CCTVs in our houses where we can see even from overseas. But the question is, if you see an intrusion in your facilities, do you have the means to stop it? Or you will sit down in that place and just say you saw it? So those are the things. There must be response systems to deal with it. While on the move, like I said, if you are moving in a group, you have to consider what is your speed, who are the members of that group that are moving, what is the best, the best of the vehicles, which one is the worst of it, where do you position it, what are the obstacles along the way, where are choke points along the road when you move, are there places where you must halt, where anybody can deal with you? A lot of us also sometimes think that because we are in bulletproof vehicles, it is safe. I tell you, it's just a means of deterrence and delay. Let me give you an example. Someone was inside the bulletproof vehicle and he believes he has run through tires. What they were able to do was to dig a ditch in front of him. And when he fell into it, he was not able to turn because those vehicles are quite heavy. They just poured petrol on the car. He came out himself and he didn't have to do much work. So what level of training does your drivers have that can help you? Because vehicles on its own are offensive and defensive weapons. You can weaponize your vehicle. Your driver, if he's well-trained, can turn your vehicle into a weapon against whatever intrusion that is a potential for you. How many times are you going to stop on the general movement if you have more than 5 vehicles? How many vehicles are good when you talk about vehicle density? How many vehicles do you put in a convoy to make it manageable, to make it secured? Which areas along the route do you have potential threats? What are the actions to be taken at those threats? If you have to stop, if there's a breakdown and you have to stop, what are the measures you will take to protect yourself at that point? If there's a breakdown that was caused by the intruder, what do you do? What are the factors? What are the things? You must set up these systems. The truth is that everybody must be aware of his environment. You do not just go out believing that you are free, you are safe. He who is watching you knows more about you than he who you are watching. And so you must continuously appreciate your environment and reflect on what could become a threat to you. If you are driving, what can somebody do to you? They tell you to wind up your glasses. They tell you to move. If you are in a go slow, they tell you to wind up. What about if your AC doesn't work? What about if there's a problem? What about if somebody hits your car? What do you do? You need to continuously appreciate, to update your intelligence about your environment as you move along. What about the serviceability of your vehicle? Are your brakes good? Are your headlights okay in case you have to travel at night? If you see a choke point, how do you identify a choke point? If you see a checkpoint, how do you identify who are manning the checkpoint? Are they legal? Are they legitimate? Are they illegal? Are they set up by vigilantes or they are set up by real legal entities? If they are, what are the processes? What are the things to do? The natural thing is to stop, appreciate quickly, or if there's if there's a lineup, you observe properly, do your calculation and know what to do. Evasive actions are possible, except if there are barriers that you cannot overcome. If it turns out that they are not people you think you should be involved with, there must be measures to take. If you get contact with the threats, for example, in kidnapping, if you're able to extricate, what are the factors, what are the things you need to consider? I expect that your driver will know the next thing to do. If the tires are shot out, what does he need to do so that it doesn't cause more damage to you? Because in attempting to get out of it, he could cause more problem, which could be tantamount to submitting yourself to those you are running to. When you are driven, a lot of us sit at the back seats where they call owner's corner. That is an automatic target. Sometimes you may need to change where you sit. Sometimes you may not be in that vehicle. You go through another method and allow the vehicle to go, depending on the threats on your route and your personality. Sometimes our personality attracts attention. Depending also on the environment, a lot of people are easy targets. Sorry. You understand? So I was sorry for the interruption. When you check your windscreen, the total of your vehicle and everything, your personality what and what. When they tell you to maybe try to stay in shape, it is also part of the security measure of your well-being. When you are told to be able to at least be able to do some short distance movement without getting exhausted, it is still part of your security. Because if you are not fit and you need to extricate yourself, how do you do it? When you are moving also, you may need to also always look out for exit or escape route. When you get into any condition where you must be able to think fast and identify the best route to escape that situation. Like I said earlier, your vehicle is an offensive weapon if properly used. A lot of people will drive through situations. It is not always advisable, especially when the individuals are armed. But if you get the chance, sometimes that is the best option you have. Reversing is more dangerous than going forward, depending on what obstacle, what barrier they have. When you also go around, you must always also know how to activate your GPS so that people can easily, you can send your location to your loved ones. I have so much points here, but the time seems to be going too fast for me. Let's go to the most frequent now, especially the issue of kidnap or kidnap attempt. Quite a few of us have gotten families and friends who have experienced the kidnapping activity. Naturally, the kidnapper has information about you. He does not catch you. Very few of them are what I call opportunity targets. You become opportunity targets when they probably just discover that you look attractive for kidnapping. And that's what I said at the beginning. If you make yourself too like a prey individual, those guys will prey on you. So when you get into such a situation, usually the best thing is to make every effort to stay alive. You don't need to be aggressive. You don't need to show them who you are. If possible, you find a way of disposing your maybe the things that will expose your personality, maybe ID card, your phone. And one point about phone is, as much as possible, we should avoid our bank activities to stay continuously on our phone, because when they go through it and they see it, it gives them the kind of person, an impression about the kind of person you are. So when such kidnapping takes place, the first principle is not to argue, is to use the opportunity to identify, appreciate those that are kidnapping you. There must always be somebody amongst them that they can't all be the same. So you will discover that there are one or two of them that are pliable. So you identify them and make quick appreciation of them. You quickly also study your environment to be sure that it is possible for you to escape. If it is not possible, you quickly know and know that it is not possible. Then the natural thing is to play the fool, not to be mumu, but to be, to allow them to think they are superior. That gives you a strength that they do not have and which is not sin. You must also seek every opportunity to delay movement, because usually when they kidnap, they take you into places that is safe for them. If you can delay, try to delay without being stubborn, without being giving yourself out as somebody who can easily be dealt with. Use your ears in case your eyes are covered. You must have some sensitivity to be able to use your ears to appreciate some of the things that could become useful as time goes on. Whenever they ask you for, whenever they send to families for ransom, the best first principle is to ask them for proof of life. Sometimes proof of life is just verbal, talking to the person. Sometimes you ask for video. It is always very good because it keeps them on their toes, and they know that if they cannot provide those proof of life, they know that you are not likely to pay. A lot of people have been killed, and yet they go ahead and collect ransom from their families. A lot of people are killed after, but the essence of the proof of life is to at least prolong the life of whoever is the victim. like I said, avoid keeping your financial status on your phone. Discard incriminating items as quickly as possible. Now, you must stay alive by all means. The essence of the whole thing is no matter what goes wrong, you must stay alive so that you will be able to tell your story. As per your information given to them must be as minimal as possible. Your phones, if you can delete a lot of things on your phone when it happens, you need to do that so that when they go through your phone, because they will go through your phones, if they do, what they see should not expose you. It should not expose your family. You should not give them an inkling on how to deal with you. You should give them more work. It will help to delay and save your life. Also, as a general principle, all of us are expected to know a bit of first aid so that when things happen and we need to extricate, we need to do things ourselves, we are able to help ourselves. When you are moving, especially in a convoy, like for a corporate movement, for example, you must have alternative forms of communication. The internet, the GSM is not always the safest one. It's not always available, especially if you enter black spots. So you must have some other forms of telecommunication that are independent of the network, so that in case there's any issue, you can reach out for help and support as quickly as possible. Do not bother yourself with speaking too much when you are under serious situation. When you are in, there's a crisis, please, if my time is up, let me know so that I don't overshoot. Moderator.
I'm with you, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, please let me know so that I don't continue to talk until I will spend the whole day wasting other people's time. In crisis period, like I had said, your decision making is very, very important. If there's a fire in your environment, if there's explosion, if there's an attack, what do you do? How do you save everybody? You must know that, and you must practice some of these things so that it's easier to act when you are properly practiced on those things. When you have a company where you don't practice fire drills and co, you may discover that when the fire comes, if the enemy sets that place on fire, there's likely to be more casualty of your things and your personnel than if you had a practice of rehearsals and practices. In the case of medicals, you must also ensure that there are facilities for medical immediate first aid medical treatment whenever the things go wrong. The threats, like I said, are different from places to places. If you live in Lagos, the kind of threat you face is different from if you live in Kaduna. It's different from if you live in Maiduguri. It's different if you live in Bama. It's different if you live in Enugu. So your appreciation of the threat factors must be based on your environment. No one single rule, no one single approach to security situations. You must evolve the security situation, the response that fits into your environment. For example, if you are working in the in the Niger Delta, basically it's kidnapping and armed robbery and sometimes ambushes. What do? You must be able to keep an eye on the road. You must be able to see, hear information. You must have sources that can tell you what is happening along the road. You must continuously appreciate the route you are following so that you can turn around. You know, there's this local intelligence that all of us use, but we do not take it serious. When you are traveling on a road and you discover that everybody is turning, coming back, the first principle is that you assume something is happening. But that in itself is appreciation of what is happening. Some of us will even turn back before asking questions. If you're also going and you are the only one on the road, something is wrong. For a road that could normally be busy, maybe in 10 kilometers, only 2 cars were met on the road. You need to be very careful. Otherwise, you may be inadvertently falling into dangerous environment. So we need, like I said, to be continuously evaluating and updating our environmental awareness such that when we get into a situation we do not need to think too much because we are already practiced, we're already appreciating what is happening, and our reaction will be quicker and more effective. You do not go to sleep when you know that there are threats around you. And it means both as individual, as security officers, as a group head, as a corporate head, you must always appreciate the security of your establishment. If you come into your office, you must also look at as you go into your office, from the gate to the main door, main entrance to your office, you must always look around what is wrong, what could be wrong. Maybe some people are standing doing things that are not supposed to be done. You need to check them quickly before it becomes a threat. If you do not check them, you may not be able to have the opportunity to check them when it turns out to be a threat. If your driver is driving and he doesn't drive well and you see him to be a lousy driver, you need to tell him what he's doing. Some of us, when we enter vehicles, we believe so much in our drivers, we slip off. It is not always the best because, yes, you are tired, you are busy, but you need to have an awareness of your environment, of what your driver is doing, what he's doing, how he's doing it, so that you do not have to jump from your comfortable position to very uncomfortable positions as a result of something you could have managed. All of us are targets, no matter how we look at it. We are targets. The only level of target is different, and the environment determines what level of target to. So you must continue. I won't sit down here and tell you that when you are going out, look right, look left, look front, and look back. No, there's no standard rule like that. The only thing is that just make sure that at every point in time, you are aware of your environment. As a corporate organization, you are aware of everything that you do and what are the factors that requires continual review that can affect your productivity, your functionality. Individually, you must also be at every point in time, be on the lookout for something that could compromise your security. One rule in point form are not going to be available to you if there's a crisis. It is what you already know, what you already appreciate, and what you have already planned to do that saves you from whatever condition you find yourself. And there's no protection, like I said, that is 100% foolproof. There's no security that cannot be overcome, no matter how you look at it. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of tenacity and dedication by the person who wants to overcome your protection system. You too also need time. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I hope I've been able to convey a little of my task within the time available. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, General Samuel. We really, really appreciate it. I think I'm supposed to be seeing a lot of okay, the emojis are coming, the round of applause is coming. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I would love to yield the floor to the DG of NECA. Sir, you have the floor, sir.
Good afternoon, General Sir. Thank you very much for this life-saving conversation.
Thank you very much.
I'm on the road and I've been writing and jotting. One of the key ones that you mentioned that actually got my head spinning was that your car can actually be an offensive or defensive weapon for you.
Yes, definitely.
And in fact, that is one of the many snipers that we picked. And for us, the expose that you have given just changed a lot of our perception about a lot of things. Sometimes we think our drivers are just we think they were born driving, or we think they are just because they have the driver's license means that we don't have to train them on basic security issues again, which is a very risky assumption even in this current time. But the conversation has opened up a lot of things for all of us to think through as corporate Nigeria and also as individuals. Thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful we cannot have enough of this conversation. But thank you for this beautiful expose. I don't know if the DG man, Director General man, is also on the call. Major DG want to say one or two things before I hand over to Professor Allen to also share his perspective. DG.
Yes, very well. Thank you very much, my brother. And General, I mean, that's why you are General. And we are very grateful for the insight you have brought. It's very important for us because most of us live predictable routine. And I think that is one strong point that you also made, in addition to what my colleague already said. We actually think that it is a thing of pride that you are predictable. Now is absolutely wrong. And I think that many of us, chief executives especially, should be mindful of alternative roads, for instance, and the fact that the places that we go may be meetings and gatherings, that will be mindful of how we go if we have to go. I'm also looking forward to maybe during the expansion for us to look at business, the operating environment, factory operations, because many people run shifts that they need to probably close late or go early. I think there are implications for activity because you are certain to be, you are sure that there will be movement around some areas, and not all our industrial areas are lighted. So we needed to be certain about what needs to be done around the perimeters of industrial establishments. What are the nitty-gritty, the things that our chief security officers, the things that those who manage when closed or when we are changing shifts, and what we need to do. So I really thank you very much. I join my colleague to thank you and to say that business is security. It is business. Thank you for your great insights. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Saz. Thank you, DG Neka. Thank you, DG Man, for your contribution. Thank you so much, General Samuel. In fact, we've learned, like DG Neka said, we've been writing, and I'm sure our beautiful audience, they've been learning also. Thank you so much. And I just have to agree with DG Neka with what he said, that our vehicles can be offensive and can be defensive vehicle. In fact, that is one thing I would take home personally. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. He also said that we should play the fool. We should try to delay movements. So when they say go into your car, you don't just quickly go into your car. Also try to and the way he said it, say it in a way you are not too stubborn and the likes, delay movement. He also said that we should appreciate the threats according to our environment, because although the security, everyone is so conscious of the security right now, but it still varies. It is much more in a place in comparison to another. We just have to keep ourselves safe. He also talks about the kind of lecture and training we give to our drivers. So that is also important. What kind of training do you give to your drivers? He also made mention of checking of ID card. Yes, there was a time that everybody putting on your ID card, but you need to still check, is it the right ID card? We have to check. We have to put all those response system in place. So thank you so much, General Samuel, for that well of wisdom. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Please, I would love to say that there is time for interactive section. So please, let's drop our questions in the chat box. We can drop our questions in the chat box. We will definitely attend to them. Thank you so much once again, General. Moving on, we would like to take the next section, Professor Helen, who would like to take us through the HEIST. This is surviving the hostile environment mindset, threat mapping, and personal risk profile, which is taking, we would like to yield the floor to Professor Harlan. Professor Harlan, like he mentioned the other time, he is the CEO of the LEAP Foundation, and he's also the president of the Association of the Certified Forensic Intelligence and Crime Analysts, with strong expertise in mindset conditioning, threat mapping, and personal risk filing. He equips individual and security professionals with the tools to survive and operate effectively in hostile environment. So please, with our hands, with our emojis, let's just welcome the professor as it takes us on another section. You're welcome, Professor. Thank you so much. You have the floor, sir. You're welcome, sir. Please, like I said, drop your questions in the chat box. Thank you. You're welcome, Professor, sir.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. And thank you, my Oga, General Adebayo. It's when the general speaks, then what can I say? Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, sir. And I would just majority of the things that you said are things that I will also be talking about. Once again, thank you so much. And I want to also apologize that I think General Musa was caught up in a network issue because I spoke to him 5 minutes before 11 o'clock. And but nevertheless, I'll try and see what I can do. Okay, so the HEIST online, we've had a lot of things from General Adebayo. I would just take us through these slides. At the end of the presentation, there's some question that I would ask that we'll go through it together. The word HEIST means a hostile environment, individual security training. So today we're looking at personal protection conversation with security chiefs and the private sector leadership. The question you want to ask yourself, why this fits for Nigeria now? Why this fits for Nigeria now? And it's common knowledge that the dominant risk today are kidnap for ransom, armed robbery, road ambushes, not prolonged wilderness survival. Between July 2024 and June 2025, at least 4,722 people were kidnapped nationwide, with ransoms widely demanded. Nigeria ranked sixth worldwide on the 2025 Global Terrorism Index, GTI, underscoring a high baseline of insecurity that intersects with criminal violence. Major governments advise heightened caution due to crime, terrorism, and kidnapping. US level 3 reconsidered travel. UK also issued strong warnings across multiple states. Even in relatively safe cities, targeted robberies and other crime persist. For example, the recent US Embassy ICRAM alert for Abuja. Now, in this segment, I'm going to be talking about your personal security and low-profile tradecraft. I'm going to expand this. Movement security, the general said a lot of things about it. Crisis decision making, what do you do if you're faced with a crisis? What quick decisions do you make? Then medical in austere settings, kidnap prevention and survival, and then digital and communications security. Let's go on. The purpose, audience, and outcomes. The purpose of the HEIST program is to give ordinary staff, journalists, NGO workers, corporate travelers, students, and families the skills to avoid, to withstand, and recover from Nigeria's most likely threats. Like I said earlier, kidnap for ransom, armed robbery, road ambushes, especially on urban streets and intercity roads. We have several examples, the Abuja Kaduna Way or the Abuja Lokoja Way. So, what are the learning outcomes? You lower your profile and adding daily habits without living in fear. Plan and execute safe movement, either solo or small team, with smart route vehicle choices. Read and handle official versus ad hoc checkpoints. Act correctly under pressure. Decide when to shelter, when to relocate or evacuate, and learn how to do it cleanly. Keep devices and communication secure and useful under stress. Engage respectfully and effectively with security forces and sometimes with community vigilantes. Starting with low profile tradecraft, we're going to look at the pattern of life discipline, how you don't expose yourself unnecessarily, surveillance detection, safe use of ATMs and ride hailing, crowds and protest avoidance. Let me expand this. The objective of this session is to reduce targeting, detect and avoid surveillance, move, pay, and meet safely, and avoid crowd flashpoints. The pattern of life discipline, that's the second thing we're looking at. Cut the signal, neutral clothing, simple watch. Now, some people will go out and you'll find out that they have long chains, gold chains, and they expose themselves unnecessarily. A phone case, no obvious wealth cues, rotate your bags, your cabs, vary commute times. If let people not say this person goes out 7 o'clock every morning or 8 o'clock, and routes by day of week. Predictability audit. List your 5 routine stops: home, work, gym, worship, mall. Try and alter the timing, the entry, the exit. Use secondary doors or different parking rows so that people will not be able to predict what time you come in, what time you go out. This your familiar or the peculiar route that you ply on daily basis. Layered carry, small cash, decoy wallet, backup card, deep carry, have photocopy of your ID reduced, and then have emergency contact card. Surveillance detection. Have a 3 box check. Who is near home box, the transit box, or your destination box? The time distance test. You change your pace or make a brief unplanned stop. Does the same person or object reappear? If it does, then you know you are being followed. Mirror checks. A lot of us, we are in the car and we slip off and we leave everything to our drivers. The driver may not be trained enough. You're supposed to be doing mirror checks, check the reflective glass, park cars, look for head, shoulder, angle, and still phones. Action. If you suspect surveillance, enter a bright start location Call a trusted number. Delay departure. Do not confront. Do not confront your suspected assailant. Route selection. Prefer arterials with escape shoulders. Fuel your car, clinic options every 20 to 30 kilometers. Try and avoid choke point bridges at low visibility hours. In fact, if you can avoid traveling or driving or moving at very low visibility hours, especially when you are going out of town, it's very, very important. No last minute map use on the curb. Preload your offline maps, your passenger navigates. Safe use of ATMs and ride hailing. ATMs, daylight, inside malls, banks, stand offset 45 degrees, block keypad, take receipt. When you're taking your cash, let it be out of sight. Do not count the cash that you withdrew from your ATM outside. That will attract robbers or people who want to steal from you. Step into the line again if shadowed. Ride hailing. Match plate with driver and the picture. If you're going to use Uber, make sure it's the right vehicle that is on your phone that has come to pick you. Seat rear right, door locked, windows 2, 3 fingers open. Share trip live, no headphone isolation. If off route, greater than 500 meters without reason, direct a safe stop at the next public place. Crowds and protest avoidance. Check event calendars and traffic radio. Avoid protest routes, fuel queues, and football match egress. If caught in a crowd, move diagonally to the edge with your palms visible, protect ribs with forearms, follow building's lee side, avoid dead-end courtyards. Now let's look at movement security. We're going to look at the road movement planning, the checkpoints, what you need to do if it's a genuine checkpoint or the robber, because at times robbers mount checkpoints. Action that you need to take, who you need to contact, and then defensive driving. We'll look at the 3 rules for defensive driving. The objective of movement security session is to build a realistic travel plan for you to spot and handle checkpoints, for you to be able to act on contact and drive defensively. So you need to train your drivers. If you don't train them, you don't blame them. Road movement planning. Before departure, early daylight, no dusk arrivals on unfamiliar roads. A safe haven map. The fuel station, you can branch if you suspect. The clinic, the police post every 30 to 40 kilometers. Recall 2 of your known persons. Check-ins, 30 to 45 minutes window. Vehicle preparation, have at least 3/4 fuel plus. Don't say I'm going to buy fuel on the express road. Check your tires, make sure they are okay, properly gauge if you're traveling, especially when you're traveling out of town. Wiper fluid, touch your triangle, then your first aid kits, then carry 5-liter water, towel, and a duct tape. The convoy basics. 2 vehicles if possible if you have a convoy. Spacing 3 to 5 seconds. Your radios, your phone, your PTT, no leapfrogging. The lead chooses lane, pace, trail blocks, sudden margins, swap lead only at pre-briefed points. So your drivers need to be trained in both the vehicle that you are in and the escort vehicles. They need to be trained. They need to know what and what to do. And you need to have communication. You need to be communicating. All the vehicles need to be communicating with each other. If one vehicle stops for non-critical reason, the other continues to safe haven and returns if safe. Checkpoints, official versus ad hoc. Official cues, consistent uniform, insignia, signage, codes, service vehicle, and then they speak to you with professional tone. Ad hoc cues, no insignia, improvised obstacles, inconsistent stories, intoxication, excessive demand. The driver posture, windows should be 1/3 down, engine on, hand visible on wheel, the documents ready, and the passenger silent unless asked to talk. You don't want to provoke the officers at the checkpoint. Actions on contact, on armed team, pre-ambush indicators. The sudden slowing vehicle, people stepping from cover, debris across the road, the laser oblique touch signals. So what do you do? Immediately, stay around at moderate acceleration, avoid reverse into traffic, don't outdrive your sight line, move to pre-nap safe haven report. If you are blocked or if the vehicle is blocked, windows up, dust logged, minimal eye contact, reverse in a straight line to last cover on its last resort because it draws more actors. Defensive driving, there are 3 basic rules. Number 1 is to see space. Your eyes must be up. Scan 12 to 15 seconds ahead. You keep space. 1 to 2 vehicle gaps at stops. Then you take space. Commit early to clean exits, shoulders, service lanes. So in defensive driving, follow the 3 rules. Teach your driver, let them know 3 things: see space, keep space, and then you take space. Kidnap prevention and survival. The objective to prevent the snatch, I'm going to expand this also. We'll look at pre-incident behaviors, vehicle snatch scenarios, the proof of life, and first 24 hours. Proof of life is very important if your person is kidnapped, because just like the general said, a lot of people, after being killed, their loved one being killed, they still pay. So always ask for proof of life. Resisting forced movement, it has to be proportional. So let's go into the details. I said earlier, prevent the snatch, survive the first hours if taken, prepare family and the office to support you. Pre-kidnap incident behaviors. Vary your routes. I said earlier, your timing. Avoid predictable curbside pickups. Look before unlocking. Use mirrors and reflections never get boxed in at gates or at car parks. Abduction phases. The first phase is the surveillance, which probably will take place weeks or days, and there's a pattern collection. Approach is always in minutes. Vehicle boxing, or they lure you, or it's a bliss. The snatch is in seconds. A first movement to the vehicle or to the room. They don't want others to see them abducting you. Consolidation, oblique transport, movement to holding site, early captivity, usually hours, and it can take days. A vehicle snatch scenarios, either they box you in at the gate, and when you're driving towards your gate, you don't drive and face the gate. Somebody will just park behind you and you can't move back. You can't go to the right, you can't go to the left. Boxing at gate oblique traffic, keep a bumper gap. If you're in the traffic, so if you are blocked, turn wheels toward the escape path, go around the weakest obstacle like plastic cone, low curb. Don't go against very high curb that your movement will be stopped. Decoy accident, do not exit. Move to public lit area. Call insurance. If you have opportunity, call security. Resisting forced movement. And that has to be, I said earlier, that has to be very, very proportional. The threshold is this. Once movement to a secondary location is imminent, do more to avoid being taken. You're not going to fight them, but without escalating to lethal response. The tools, drop weight, sit, brace on door frame, wedge your feet, shout non-confrontational phrases. Help! Police, help! If you're overpowered, protect your head, your airway, mentally record details, voices, smells, and tones. Because the tendency is for you to be blindfolded, and then you are taking round and round and round, so that you lose your sense of where you're going. But voices, smells, and tones helps you. So if you have been taken round and round, and it's the same smell, it's the same voice, then the same tones, you can't know that you have been taken round and round and round and round. Proof of life and the first 24 hours in captivity. POL secret. Pre-agreed, non-public facts. What nickname does grandma use for me? As if, for example, you were kidnapped. These are the questions you ask. What nickname does grandma use for me? Family oblique office old comes tree, knows no self-ransom policy, logs all calls. If captive, be cautious, compliant, and boring. Ask for water, ask for medical needs. Conserve your energy. No time via calls, as in sunlight. Avoid escape attempts unless odds are overwhelmingly in your favor. If you try to escape and you're not sure, there's a tendency that you might be attacked. Crisis decision making. The objective is to make a clear choice, shelter in place, relocate, or evacuate. You have three choices. Like shelter in place, you relocate, or you evacuate. And notify the right people fast. Decision triggers. For shelter in place, violence nearby, poor information, short expected duration, and then you're sure that there's availability of a safe room. For you to decide or take decision to relocate, your site is stable, but the next site is safer within a short move. For you to take decision to evacuate, indicators of continuing instability, medical need, or nightfall risk on the road. Safe haven mapping. For home or hotel, identify 2 rooms with solid doors, 2 exits, water, and communications. For routes, safe havens every 30 to 40 kilometers, fuel clinic, busy eatery, or if there's any police post. Communication trees and accountability. There are 3 rings. The team moving to the office, your duty phone, and then the family proof of life. You must have agreed with your family, okay? If anything happens, these are the questions. And don't make the questions to be a public, it's not the question that everybody should know. Missed windows, prompt step up, call primary safe haven, then secondary, then duty officer, then the police. Austere settings, like the medical austere settings. The objective is to treat real life threats in the first minute and then move on to clear. I'm going to tell you about the Match E algorithm and then the malaria stroke dehydration basics and then what kits that we need to have. The objective, like I said, is treat life threats in the first minute and move to care. The Match E algorithm is the acronym for the following. M represents massive bleeding. If there's a massive bleeding, you need to use the direct pressure on the bleeding spot so that it can stop or minimize the bleeding. Because when you lose a lot of blood, there's every tendency that that person will die. Pressure bandage and then tourniquet. Note the time. The airway, talk test, recovery position. R is respiration. Seal sucking chest wound. Only if you are trained. Watch for breathing difficulty. C, circulation. Treat shock. Lay flat, elevate legs. If no chest, abdominal trauma, try to keep warm. Hypothermia. Put your head, cover, gentle handling. Hypothermia is when your body temperature goes down below, I think 30. It becomes very, very, it becomes a serious medical issue, and people can easily die when they have a severe hypothermia situation. Evacuation. Move when safe to the pre-chosen clinic or hospital. If you have malaria or dehydration, these are the basics. If it's fever plus chills plus headache after exposure, test early, carry rapid test if you are trained. For hydration, your oral rehydration therapy recipe will be 1 liter of clean water plus 6 level teaspoon sugar plus half teaspoon salt. a sound of warning. Do not self-medicate antibiotics randomly. Follow clinic guidance. Don't take antibiotics as you like. Kits. Kits are chosen by shield, trauma pad, the tape, the triangle bandage, the IFAC in your car. That's your first aid kit. The tourniquet, hemostatic gauge, pressure bandage, the chest seal if you are trained, scissors, marker, headlamp, ORS, and the paracetamol for pain. Office oblique team, extra bandages, splints, glucose gel, and blankets. Digital and communication security. We're going to look at phone hardening, redundancy, geolocation hygiene, extortion and ransomware awareness. I will just expand this also. The objective, I said, is to teach us how to harden our phones, or the need for us to harden our phones, reduce geolocation leakage, keep communications working under a stressful situation. Phone hardening, either you're using an iOS or an Android. The screen lock 6-digit plus biometric, auto lock 30 to 60 seconds. Disable lock screen previews. Enable Find My or Find Device. That will help people who are looking for you to be able to locate where your phone is, and if you're lucky, maybe you are still close to where your phone. Even when the phone is taken away from you, the abductor probably will still have the phone with him or her. The app audit. Remove finance apps from daily phone or use secondary device logout when traveling. If your bank app is on your phone and you're abducted, believe me, you'll be forced to transfer every cover in your phone to the abductors. Backups encrypted. Emergency SOS shortcode configured. Geolocation hygiene. The social app location of except for maps. Scrub metadata before posting. Delay your post by 24 hours. Turn off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi auto join when moving through unknown areas. Extortion and ransomware awareness. Threat via WhatsApp / Telegram. Do not engage emotionally. Preserve evidence. Report to duty phone. Never send intimate images. We've learned of this, our youth sending nude pictures, to their friends. Why? Nobody knows. Those nude pictures can be used to blackmail you, even if not immediate, might be used later in the future. Or you send it to your friend and you think it's safe. The friend's phone gets missing, and everybody in the social media have your nude picture. That's happened to one of these Nollywood stars. She sent a nude picture to somebody. The phone got missing, and before we knew what was going on, everybody on the internet has the nude picture of that lady. Teach your children, your youth, sextortion traps. Redundancy. Dual SIM, different networks, power bank, offline maps, printed contact. The SATCOM radio, if traveling off the grid, if you can afford it, have a SATCOM radio. Keep communication discipline short, factual, no sensitive data. Professional conduct at stops. The objective is to keep stop short, polite, and very safe. The posture and documents. Interior lights on at night. When you get to a checkpoint, put on your inner lights. Windows little bit low. Your hands are visible. The engine is on unless asked otherwise. The driver speaks. Make no jokes. No jokes, no politics. When you make jokes, the policeman will think you are trying to distract him. Language for respectful engagement. Good morning, officer. Here are the vehicle and ID documents. May we proceed? If you are asked to pay fine on the road, at times it may be legal fine. Please say, can we settle officially at the station, please? For community vigilantes, don't treat them with less respect. Treat them with equal respect as if they are police officers. Ask for the chief coordinator. Keep headlights on low. Low approach. Avoid sudden door openings. Seven-day habit plan. First day, learn your phone hardening plus how to send SOS. Second day, pattern audit plus route variation. Don't go through the same route every day at the same time. Let people not predict that this person with this vehicle at this time will pass through this place. Safe haven map for commute. ATM drill. When you use the ATM machine, don't count the money outside. Cover your ATM drill. When you're withdrawing, cover it. Don't let anybody be close to you. And then before you insert your card, make sure you cancel. And then withdraw your cash, put it in your pocket. And if you suspect anybody following you, go inside the bank. There are some ATMs that are located outside the banking hall. Do a 1-minute medical plus your first aid kit check. And then do your family proof of life rehearsal anytime you are traveling. We're not saying you'll be abducted or kidnapped, but anything can happen when you are operating or living in a hostile environment. So I have for you here a quick reference card, actions on contact, the match E, the mass bleed, airway, respiration, circulation, hypothermia, something that you need to hold and let it be a guide to you. Checkpoint script, what you need to say to the officer, the proof of live preparation, and so on. The way forward. Insecurity today, what needs to be done if there's political will is to have an integrated security strategy, retake and hold territory. It's not enough to just comb the forest. It's more than that. The security operative should hold and retake the forest. Community policing and rule of law. For me, state policing is a no-go area. The disadvantages exceed the advantages. Community policing is the solution. Let the government take development as security. In fact, the next time we're having this conversation, is going to be on the 10 points on how to reduce insecurity in the country. That will get everybody informed as soon as the papers are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I will just take us through these few questions and answers, and I want you to unmute yourself if you can. The question number one is on pattern of life. It goes like this. After a week-long audit, you identify that you refuel at 7:05 at the same station, park in the same bay, and post leave school run videos. Which single change below most reduces targeting immediately? Can we unmute ourselves and can I have anybody answer the? Is it A, wear a baseball cap, or B, or C, or D? Anybody? We have 238 participants. Yeah. Daniel, yeah, just raise your hand and I'll call you. Daniel, is it A or B or C or D?
B.
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 Yes, sir.
Yeah, Daniel, you are correct. Why? Varying fuel stops, times, and delaying posts remove real-time location signals and break predictable patterns. The largest risk reduction immediately. A and D are minor deterrents only. C is a theft countermeasure, not a targeting fix. So let's go to the next question, which is on surveillance detection. 3 bucks plus time distance. You notice the same gray Corolla. There, oh, the answer came. You've said it. You notice the same gray Corolla near your house in the morning, on the highway later, and near your gym. What is the next big step? The answer already came out. C. Enter a staff pharmacy, wait 10 minutes, then exit by a different door if there's any, and take an alternate route while calling your duty contact. Let's look at question 3. Route planning, Abuja, Kaduna, same day return. You must depart and return the same day. Which plan best reflects HEIST movement guidance? Anybody?
This is the cost and
A, B, C, or D? Hello? Is
We
anybody?
can hear you, sir.
Yeah. The route planning, we are going from Abuja to Kaduna, same day return. You have to depart. Did you
B.
say what? D.
B. Depart
Okay,
6
that's
a.m.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. B is correct. Why? Why is B correct? Early departure, pre-call safe havens every 30 to 40 kilometers, scheduled check-ins, and no casual ATM stops will match the HEIST movement doctrine. A and D risk dox driving, which we say you should avoid, or clustering with unknown vehicles. C relies on ad hoc stops. The next question, ATM plus ride-hailing workflow. At a busy mall, you need cash and the ride. Which sequence is safest? A, B, C, or D? You need cash and you also need a ride. So which sequence is safest?
C. C.
You say C?
C.
Okay, C is correct. Indoor, ATM, different exit, verify ride details, rare ride seat, and leave live trip share rather, as the safe workflow. A puts on the curb, B exposes you while waiting, D adds strangers and unvetted taxi. Let's go to the next question. At checkpoints, official versus ad hoc. At docs, a roadblock has no insignia, aggressive tone, and on-the-spot find. What is the correct posture and script? A, B, C, or D? Anybody?
B.
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 B or D?
B.
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 A. B.
B.
A.
B.
B is
B.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes, hands
Yeah.
visible.
Proper
B.
posture.
You
Windows,
reduce your glass.
sir? B.
You
B
reduce
is
your
correct.
glass and speak with the officer. B is correct.
Yeah. Windows 1/3 down, engine on and visible, and the verification script de-escalate while keeping options open. A can trigger pursuit or use of force. C surrenders control. D may inflame the encounter. Question 6. Actions on contact, ambush at a bend. A car brake checks. Two men emerge from bush. A sack hits your window. What is the correct order? A, B, C, or D? Anybody? Do you reverse at speed, hit on?
C.
C. C is correct.
C is correct.
Why? Stay and go around the threat, moderate acceleration, activate safe haven plan, plus communications tree, then assess there. A reversing blind near a bend is high risk. You can be hit by an oncoming vehicle. B negotiates at the kill zone. D ramming increases harm and liability. Let's go to the next question. Will soon be true. Kidnap prevention and survival. Estate gate snatch. You are boxed in at your gate. Which combination is most consistent with proportional resistance and survival? A, B, C, or D? You live in an estate.
B.
What?
B.
B is correct.
B.
B is correct. Yeah. Preserve a gap. Use the curb oblique escape. And if grabbed, apply proportional resistance at the door frame. If eventually you are taken, shift to survival behaviors, compliance, proof of life observation, energy conservation. A, C, and D escalate or prioritize property over life. And you don't want to do that. Question 8. Crisis decision, hotel unrest, 75 minutes to nightfall. Unrest is 2 kilometers away. The clinic 800 meters north, police post 1.6 kilometers east. Airport is 20 kilometers. Communications unstable. What is the best decision now? A, B, C, or D?
B.
Did you say
B.
C?
B.
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 Center in place. Yes.
B is the
B.
correct answer.
Yes.
Why? Near docks with nearby unrest, shelter first if the site is secure, prepare to relocate, short distance only if indicators worsen. A long airport run introduces high road exposure. C isolates you. D broadcasts your position. So 2 more questions and we're done. Medical tech match A. Tech is the tactical emergency casualty care. Your passenger has a deep forearm laceration with steady bleeding and lightheadedness. What is the correct initial care?
B.
B. B is
B.
the correct answer.
B.
That's correct. Why? Follow match E, direct pressure, pressure bandage, tourniquet only for severe uncontrolled bleeding, manage shock, evacuate to pre-identified clinic when safe. A misuses rather the tourniquet, C delays bleeding control, D delays life-saving steps. And the last question, digital and comms security, extortion plus redundancy. You receive a WhatsApp extortion threat. SIM A, data is unstable. SIM B, voice stroke SMS worked. What is the best combination now?
B.
B. B.
B.
B.
B. Yes.
B.
Short and preserve evidence.
Okay, B is correct. Preserve evidence, reduce data leakage, use redundant comms, SIM B, SMS stroke voice, and keep communication discipline. Shocked, factual, no sensitive data. A encourages extortion. C loses evidence. D increases exposure. And may invite pile on. Ladies and gentlemen, this takes us to the end of this section. Thank you for listening. My name remains Professor Abiola Allen.
Thank you.
I say thank you and God
Thank you
bless you.
so much. Thank you so much, Professor. We really appreciate this insightful section. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm sure we've learned a lot. Oh, please, may I ask that we mute our mics? Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you so much. And as we can see from what he told us, we are saying again that you should delay movements before you are taken. Okay, we will not be taken. So, but delay movements. If there is a need to call someone and delay your movements before you leave that place. It's also coming to us that there is need to train our drivers. There's need to train our drivers. Let them be security conscious. Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you so much. We would also like to recognize the presence of General Caleb Olayemi, MNI. Please, is he online? General Caleb, we recognize and appreciate you for joining. Thank you so much.
General
Thank you
Caleb
so much.
Alayera, can you please speak up?
Olayemi, please. Okay, it's possible he is no longer online with us, but we recognize him also. And we say thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that, General Caleb. Thank you so much. And also thank you so much, Professor Abiola, for that wonderful section once again. I would like to go shortly into the question and answer. We have some
Thank you, Prof.
questions here. We have some questions here, so I will just read some questions out while we also drop some of our other questions in the chat box. Thank you very much. Okay, so there's a question here that says, what do you do when the security is heightened, when you're in a security heightened situation? I think Professor Abiola has spoken to that already. Okay, so there's another question here. What do you do when your car tires are short? What do you do when you are, okay, when you see I believe this person wants to write unauthorized checkpoints, of which Professor Abiola has also spoken to that. There is another one here. What do you do when you see a security breach from afar, probably from the CCTV? So I would like, okay, then there is another one. How can the vehicle be offensive and defensive? Oh, okay. So can I quickly ask that General Samuel quickly take us through that for Professor can also make his contribution. So the question is, how can a vehicle be offensive and defensive? General Samuel, are you still with us? Please, can you quickly take that? Okay, let me also ask that
Okay.
Professor
Prof,
Abiola also.
Prof can
Okay,
also take
General
it
Samuel.
if it's there.
Yes,
Oh,
of
okay.
course.
I think General Adebayo, I don't think he's still on, but no problem. In crisis situation, that's part of the training you get as a security operative. In crisis situation, everything becomes a weapon. You know, it's like when you have a baby, the baby may not be able to beat you, but baby can bite you. So if I'm driving a vehicle and I see that you want to attack me, or it will become a weapon. I run you down. I I remember there's a guy in Marina. The guy is not insane, but he pretends to be insane and he robs people. He will tell them that if you don't give me money, I will break your glass. I will. So one day he tried it with me. I was driving the Jeep and my wife sat beside me. My wife was even scared that, hey, this madman. I said, which madman? I used my vehicle to hit him. We're on the bridge. I hit him and said, you want to kill a madman? I said, so you're a madman and you have sense. So in crisis situation, everything you have becomes a weapon. All right? That's what I think the general meant. So if you're going out, always anticipate that anything can happen. So whatever you have with you, learn how to turn it into a weapon. Your vehicle can be a very good weapon to attack. You can clear people off the road, and you can also use the vehicle as a getaway to run away from danger. Another example is one day during the end SARS crisis, my driver was going by Maryland Junction. When I saw the road was blocked, and he was driving towards it, I had to pull him and say, "What are you doing?" So we had to quickly make a U-turn by Maryland. I said, you see that the road is blocked. You see an angry crowd, and you want to drive straight into them. So that's the reason I put emphasis on defensive driving. It's very important. A lot of executives will go into their car and sleep off. They are tired, fine. But how can I sleep and leave the safety of my life to a driver? No, my eyes are always opened. I have to tell the driver, no, make a U-turn, make a U-turn before we run away from. Some people are even coming to attack us. And funny enough, when I was in police uniform, I was in police polo, we would have been attacked, and only God knows what would have happened. So, any other question?
Okay, sir. So, please, we can, okay, like I said, drop our questions in the chat, but I've not seen any questions so far, but we can show a raise of hand. If we also want to speak, we'll speak to that. Okay, so Professor, sometimes, when people want to respond to all these security issues, the major problem is how to stay calm in that situation, is how to stay calm. So I just want you to say something in how can someone stay calm in that kind of, because it is when you are calm you're able to, like, okay, let me quickly stand through the environment, let me quickly take a mental note of what is happening and all that. So how do you think people can stay calm in that kind of environment?
Learning to stay calm, you have to go through training. And for me, naturally, when I'm faced with crisis, that's when I think, that's when I'm so calm and I reason. Now, the rule is this: if I'm going into a place, if I'm going to an office or I'm
Okay,
going
so
to the bank, hello,
hello,
I'm
I'm
going
with you. I think
yeah.
our DJ also. Okay, the DJ also has his
Oh,
hand
okay,
raised.
okay, yeah. Let me quickly finish this. Now, if I'm
Okay,
going
sir.
to a place, I don't just go into anywhere. I look at the exits. I look at my getaway points in case anything happens. In most cases, nothing will happen, but I have a plan B. Anytime I'm going into anywhere, I'm driving. If I'm leaving my house and I'm going maybe from uh, mainland to Ikeja, I mean from Sule to Ikeja, I want to know what is on the road. I planned my routes. All right. There was a day I was going, there was problem on the Kurod Road. I told my driver to divert. There was problem on the express. Not everybody may have that a privilege, okay, to be able to know what is and what is happening on the road. But the best thing is for you to plan your route, okay. Then when if anything happens, when you panic, you don't think, okay. But when you stay calm, all right. Now, when I say stay calm, it's not that you just stay there. You stay calm. That split of a second, you take your decision whether you want to uh, stay or you want to, is that you stay or you run away. If I'm going and there's a gunshot, the first thing you do is to duck. You go down first because if you run helter skelter, there's a possibility that you might be hit with a stray bullet. So when you hear the sound of a gunshot, for example, hypothetically, you just go down first. Find out who is shooting before you know where to run to.
Run to.
When
Thank you
when
very much.
this another example, please. In Keja Kantume, there was a time that the bombs exploded. The bombs in the Kantume. A lot of people had bomb explosion. They had, and everybody ran towards the canal. And people who were in front were pushed into the canal. They didn't die of the of the bomb explosion. They died because they were careless and they don't know what to do. All right, that's.
All right, sir. Thank you very much,
I
sir.
think the DG raised his hand.
Please. Yes, yes. DG, please, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, I did. Well, it's why we pray that we don't get involved or we're not victims. Sometimes the residual knowledge you have gained or the preparations you have made might just be your saving grace. Might just be your saving grace. So, and for me, in an environment that is progressively becoming hyper security, learning basic survival instincts or learning basic survival strategies becomes a given. So it's no more an issue of I don't need it. We all need it. We all need that basic knowledge. We all need that basic understanding of what we should do when we should do it. It's not when it happens that we now start praying for intervention. Those basic things, normal things, can be life-saving, and those are the things that I think we have learned. One of the things I also picked out was the issue of when you enter a place, you must do your surveillance. What are the escape routes? What are the alternative escape routes that you have? How many routes is there for escape? How many routes is there to maneuver? I think those are basic things that we should all be conscious of. Driving out and driving. Some of us we just drive in and out
of our estate, of our office, as if everything is okay. But the truth of the matter is nothing is okay now, and we just have to be conscious and be receptive. Uh, Probably we will probably organize something for drivers. And maybe if it's possible, through the LEAP Foundation and the OPS, we can organize basic basic security tips for drivers. I think it might be something we probably need to do even before the end of this December, so that people will travel this period. A lot of things will happen this period. And this period is also known for security issues,
Yeah.
So I think it's whatever we can do. Um, Even when everybody's trying to look for money for Christmas, when those guys catch somebody, people that don't want to contribute will look for 100 million, they will look for 50 million, they will look for 25 million. That doesn't even guarantee that they will release the individual. So I think whatever we need to do to keep this conversation alive, I think we should. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we'll organize defensive driving. So that's defensive driving for drivers is very key and very important. Okay. Now there's something I want to mention to participants also, that this is just one out of a 12 series HEIST program. We still have 11 more sessions. So if you attend today, there's still so many other things. This is just one part of it. There are still 11 other areas that we're going to look at, and we'll bring in different security experts. I want to thank the DG NECA and the management of NECA. I also want to thank the DG MAN and the entire management of MAN. They made this to be possible. What you're getting free of charge, a lot of people paid a lot of money for it. So let's clap for the DG NECA and DG MAN. Let's clap for them, please. Yeah, more. I need more, please. Great, that's great. So thank you so much, DG. What you're doing is so great, and it's wonderful. People are getting, for you to have a general come and I mean, these are real people who have been faced with real life situations. So thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, Professor. Thank you so much, Professor. Okay, so I see Dr. Dapo Oweye. Okay, so okay, please, Dr. Dapo, let's have your comments.
Yeah, Dr. Dapo, you have the floor. Dr. Oweye, you have the floor, please. Okay, maybe he has network problem. Can we call another person?
Okay, exactly. Okay. Okay, sir. So I see just okay. I see a few questions. We'll just take those two and then we will wrap up. We are beyond time. So they say, what is your view on the state police given the current insecurity in Nigeria? And then, is the tinted glass permit still compulsory? What do you advise?
I'll make my comment on state police, and it's my personal opinion, me as Professor Allen. For me, I have 101 reasons why we should not do state police. What we need is effective, inclusive community policing. I have an inclusive policing model, okay, which I worked on for over 25 years and is effective, okay, is being used in the police. State police is not going to solve the problem. All right. A lot of the truth has to be told, and I'm being blunt about this. How many states pay their civil servants salary? You give a gun to a man and you don't pay him salary for 3-6 months. You have turned him into an armed robber. That's number one. Number two, the state governors, because they will now control the state chief of police, they can use them against political opponents. And then there'll be clashes between the federal police and the state police. A lot of things. What we need is community policing. Let the federal police stay. And then you have community policing. Community policing is effective because it has to do with the police, collaborating with the community. They work hand in hand with the community. Okay. Then the structure will change. Instead of the full vertical structure, you then have the divisional police officers have more um, powers, more responsibilities, and then they can use problem solving technique like SARA, to resolve. That's what community policing is all about: collaboration with the community, change in organizational structure, and then problem solving through SARA. For me, community policing, which I call inclusive, is the answer. State police, forget it. It's not going to work. It will cause more problem. And where are they going to get the salary to pay the officers? Where are they going to get people to recruit? You can imagine in Rivers State, what happened recently in Rivers State. If we have state police, you think the governor will let it go like that? There'll be casualties. So for me, state police is a no-go here. I listed 101 reasons why we should not do state police. I still have the document.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Biola. I'm so sorry, Mr. Tolu. We are really behind time. We can't take any more contributions at this moment. We are really behind time. So please, can we show our hands of appreciation to our professor for taking us through that wonderful and insightful section. I'm not seeing our show event, so okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you so much,
Thank
General
you.
Samuel. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I would like to yield. I'm so sorry, Mr. Tolu, Mr. Andrew. We are really behind time. We can't take any more contribution. I'd like to yield the floor for the Director General NECA for his closing remarks. DG, please, you have the floor. Okay, so while we are waiting for the DG for his closing remarks, okay, I will quickly take Mr. Tolu. Okay, Mr. Tolu, please, quickly.
Thank you so much, my sister. Thank you. My prof, good morning, sir. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much. Please,
How are you, Tolu? How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. Please, I just want like you elaborated policing. Now, I see that community police too will still be under the control of the governors. So what would not, because they will still be paid by the state one way or the other, it will not be federal government controlled. So I don't know what would be the major, or what are the major differences between a community police and state police, so much that you prefer community to police, sir. Thank you, sir.
No, the community policing will still, the officer will still be remunerated by the federal government. Okay. The main difference is that the community police chiefs, like the divisional police officers, will become the community police chiefs. okay, they will interact and partner with the public. A division consists of several streets, okay? Now, the community police chief will know everybody in each of the streets, okay? If there's a new person, he will know. Do you understand? Then there can be the police community relationships committee. They'll be more effective, all right? So if they have somebody who sleeps from morning till evening, he drives a G-Wagon, and then he goes out only in the night and come back the following every day, 7 days a week. They will inform the divisional community police chief will know. All right. So that's the difference. Unlike state police, that the state governor will pay their salary. All right. The governor, the state police chief is answerable to the governor. Whatever the governor wants is what he's going to do. All right. And that abuse of police powers it will just come. Let's be sincere about this. It will come. The governors will abuse the powers of police, and they will crush uh, their enemies. You can imagine with local government autonomy, you have the state police chief that you can fire, you can hire and fire. The local government chairman, if not listening to you, get him arrested and nothing will happen. State police, we're not right for it here. At this time in Nigeria, we're not right for state police.
Thank you so much, sir.
The critical one is that who is going to pay their salary? The civil servants, this state, how many states? Less than 4-5 states can effectively pay the state workers' salary. You don't want to have 10, 20,000 police officers. Where are you going to get their salary from?
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
And
much.
then
Thank you.
you
Thank you
give
so
them,
much,
you give
sir.
them AK-47, they will just lease it out to armed robbers.
But sir, would the community
Thank you.
police be equipped as much as state police? Would the federal government equip them just like the normal general police?
Oh, sure. They are still federal police, but they will not get support from the community. In addition, the PCRC will support, and then they get support from the supernumerary police also. Do you get what I'm saying? So it becomes a community issue. I told you earlier, there are three things to community policing. One is the police community partnership. There is a partnership between the police and the community. You will have community like the PCRC, all right? They will meet. If the divisional or the community police chief messes around, then there'll be avenues to report the community police chief. But you find out that if the community is involved in policing, then it's more effective. Unlike when you have one person that the governor is controlling, and then I hope and pray that we don't fall into that trap. And then let me tell you again,
Amen, sir.
sorry, this is very important. You have a state police, and the federal government cannot control how they are armed. All right. Some say that are saying they want to succeed. You arm the police, there'll be trouble. 20,000 armed men can cause trouble, serious trouble.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, Professor, for that insightful section and for your answers too. Thank you so much. To other speakers, we really cannot take any contribution. I would like to yield the floor to Mr. Segun Ajayi, MNI, the Director General of MAN, to please give us the closing remarks. Please, you have the floor, Mr. Segun.
Okay, thank you very much. On behalf of my colleague, the DG of NECA, and all our members, all members of our two organizations, I would like to thank Prof. and most immensely thank our General for this enlightening webinar. It's quite an honor and a privilege, and we do not take it for granted. We have been enlightened, and I believe now almost all of us, or all of us, will be more security conscious, particularly at this trying time for our country, Nigeria. It's evident that security is a personal issue, and it's important for us to be mindful of our movements. We need to spread this information to our families, to our factory workers. In fact, whilst this was going on, I had to call all the drivers in my organization, and I put a computer in front of them to participate. Thankfully, we are going to have the next one, and we want all of us to participate. We have to accommodate as many people as is possible. And I assure Prof that the next time we are going to have this, it will be a much fuller house. So again, on behalf of my colleague, the DG of NECA, and on behalf of all of us, we say thank you to you, and we look forward to future editions. God bless you all, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, DG, for that closing remarks. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We really, really appreciate, and I know you've taken one or two things. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please do enjoy the rest of your day and have a wonderful day. Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you, DG. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
just 1 minute. Voy a hacer 7.5 guys so that I'll